right. What's up, world, and welcome to our show, CUZZO'S Convo. We're your hosts, Renaissance Ronnie
and MOLUVLEE. We're here to have an open dialogue about all things Black reality TV, highlighting positivity and giving out real life accountability checks.
So grab your seat and whatever you need, because we're about to dig in.
What's going on, world? It's your girl, MOLUVLEE.
And Renaissance Ronnie.
It's great to be back with you all with another episode of CUZZO'S Convo. And we have been away. We've had some events, vacation. So we're back. So we are going to recap episode, I think that was 4 and 5. And of season 7, Ready to Love Miami. And yeah, let's dig on in. So I want to just jump right onto, because I feel like there wasn't really a lot that happened really in episode 4 like that. I think some of the biggest drama occurred, or some of the biggest things to highlight was really the white party. The one thing I will say, though, 2 things that happened prior to the white party is 2 couples that I do want to point out is Kayla and Randall. They went out on a date. And I find it interesting because it definitely seemed like Randall was really going hard with Trunica, and then out of nowhere his connection with Kayla and then Jamala has heightened his interest, and so they're out. So I'm wondering, I remember when Trunica made a comment and said, I like Randall because he's like a little weird like me, but Randall ain't coming off a little weird.
Randall's a ladies' man.
Yes. And I saw one of his little tattoos. I think he used to play basketball. I don't know if he played in the NBA necessarily, or was, he could have been just high school, college, but he definitely was a basketball player. And so yes, you're right. He is used to being a ladies' man. And one thing I always notice about him is that you actually never really see Randall dress up like that. He loves his Jordans, his Nike. No, I'm serious. I was like, every time we turn around, I said he got his whole collection of his Jordans. He he loves his jeans. Like, he is definitely like chill. He's not a Miami dude for sure. We don't see the floral prints and the neon colors that's going on like some of these other folks. But anyway, so but I think it was really interesting, their date. And he asked Kayla a question about children, or did she ask him about children? I think she did ask him about children.
I just know they got down to the 1 or 2. I think she may have asked him, because he said 1 or 2, and then was like, "Oh, you want more?" And then that's when they got into the 5, 6, and all that. So I think she must have asked him. Yeah.
And she was like, "Wait a minute now, like slow down there." But hey, listen, at the end of the day,
he was talking about just his family, wanting a family, and right. Yeah, so that's how they got into the kid talk.
Yeah. So that is really interesting. Like, a lot of people are always like, I want kids, and then when you find somebody that do want kids, and they're like, oh yeah, but I want like 5 or 6, and then women be like, well, wait a minute, I ain't say I wanted that many, like maybe 2.5, 3, but
it's always a man saying they want 5 or 6 kids. It's not. I rarely hear a woman say they want 5 or 6 kids. It's always men saying, I want 5 or 6 kids, and it's like, I bet you do.
Until they have the first one, because if you actually look at most men, when they be like, yeah, I'm ready. The woman says, I think I'm ready to have another one. They be like this, another one. Gosh, I gotta go through this again. Like
my husband.
They be ready to be like, I'm actually okay with the 1 or the 2. So they don't really be feeling it after this one come. They be like, just say you want 5, 6 kids after the first one. Like, it's very, very weird.
Right. I think a lot of them, especially when they grow up with a lot of siblings, they be like, yeah, I want a lot of siblings like I had, blah, blah, blah. And then that one kid come and then they're like, okay.
Whole
And then
responsibility.
like, yeah, that's how my husband was. And I was like, I think I want another baby. He's like, you do?
That's funny, yeah. So that's that. But so yeah, so I do find it very interesting that this the connection with Kayla and Randall. I don't know how I'm really feeling about it at the moment because I'm not really a big fan of Kayla. I think that she again, I don't, her motives of being on the show for me is, I don't know, she's just giving me a little bit of dry behavior. Like, you're a little dry on this show. I don't like, she doesn't really stand out for me. Like, I think that she's open to telling her story about like how she used to be engaged and whatever. And like, we'll continuously hear that. But like, there hasn't been a wow factor about Kayla that goes, yo, she's a phenomenal woman. She stands out in this way where I feel like, it's giving Bourville. And I think that men are just probably attracted because she's a beautiful woman. I can't take that away from her. But as far as like beyond just the outer exterior, I don't know what she's really like given. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily see them as a good fit. I think she's definitely feeling him. And I think he's feeling her too, but I think she is more dominant than she's portraying.
mm-hmm.
And I don't think that'll work in the end with them too.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I don't. Her what keeps her around is she's a flirt.
Mm-hmm.
She's a flirt, so she's never like
again, which makes me think that like the intentions and why she's really here. I just think that it's a game for her, and so that whatever she can create more content for her, whatever. I haven't gone and looked for her YouTube content page yet. I mean, but so I can probably learn a little bit more about her through whatever she talks about because she talks, remember she said in the very beginning that she loves drama, whatever. Anyway, so that's that. Another interesting conversation that occurred was Zoe and Sharice. They sat down and she pretty much was asking him like, yeah, so tell me your story. Like, have you ever been married? Whatever. Oh yeah, well, I almost got married. And she's like, oh, okay, tell me a little bit more. And, he was like, yeah, well, I came at the end of 7 years and I gave her a ring. And then, I found out that, we wasn't just matched together well. And so, yeah, did he say he took the ring back?
Took it back, yeah.
Yeah. Child, I'm so anti that.
Flag number 1.
I don't like if somebody, I don't know, because I feel like, yes, an engagement, whether it's an engagement, a promise ring, wedding ring, whatever, like most men, when you get a divorce, don't ask for their rings back. It's just like, this was an investment. This is what I gave. It was what I wanted to give my wife or whatever. So I don't get the whole like whatever. If a woman hands you back the ring, that is what it is. She hands you back the ring. But I'm not really into like, okay, we not getting married, so give me my ring back. It's just cornballish to me. I don't know.
I mean, first of all, yeah, it's weird, and it's even weird for the woman to hand the ring back. I mean, what is that, like symbolism or something? Because at this point, like, how many things have you bought me throughout our relationship? I'm gonna start handing everything back, like that would be crazy. Like, then you buy this toothpaste, you can have that back too.
Right. Here's a dried up flowers from the first bouquet you gave me. I used this potpourri in our bathroom. Here's the
it's like, yes. I'm not about to start like looking through my closet like, oh, then you buy this purse here, you can take this back to like.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna keep what you gave me, you keep what I gave you, and we're gonna call it even.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, and now again, if that's the woman's choice to say, hey, you know what, I understand, whatever, here's this back, then that's on her. But I do think that it should be up to the woman. I don't think that a man should ever ask for a ring back.
Yeah, and then especially if you're talking marriage, like you gave him a ring too, so are y'all exchanging rings back? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, that's just, like I said, it's just weird behavior.
Yeah.
You are adults. So, but Zoe, you know, as we learned, he's very childish anyway.
Yes.
So
Yeah, for sure. And we'll be getting back to Zoe and Sharice again later on. So yeah, so I definitely when I saw that, I just was like, yeah, I don't know, this dude again, he's always got his little glasses on with his little looking like Rick Ross's cousin. um and I just like I don't know, like somebody that leaves on glass. And I get it, they're out in Miami near what you call, but I don't know, somebody who leaves like their glasses on, like to me all the time or whatever. I don't know, like I just there's just like a disconnect.
what was that? Was like, take your glasses off. Let me see your eyes.
I think Shakira, and she
Oh.
say it to, was it LJ? She said it to somebody. Oh, Justin.
I
No,
thought
I
she
don't
was,
know.
it wasn't to Zoe.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe it
Maybe
was to Justice. I don't know.
I don't know, but yes, it was Shakira who was like, yeah, let me, but yeah, because it becomes impersonal. If I'm trying to get to know you and you just got your shades on, I don't know, you might got some lying eyes that I might be able to see and discern.
You might be asleep while I'm talking.
Oh, child zoning out looking at other women. He like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking at you, but I'm over here checking out Kayla's booty.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that was interesting. That they had that conversation, and then moving on to the white party that Tommy and his wife Jackie was in attendance to, and Jackie went around to all of whom she saw together and was like, okay, let's have a discussion. What's your questions? And continuing with Zoe and Sharice asked the question like, what is the how, when it comes to the success of marriage, like, what is it? What's the recipe? And Jacqueline gave them a couple of jewels or whatever, and was just like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to communicate. Communication is key. Blah blah blah. And so what's funny is in that conversation when then Zoe goes, well, how do you deal with adversity? I was like, yeah, you do need to know how to deal with adversity, because child, like that question for me, then what happens the next episode, I would love to talk to his ex-fiance, because something is telling me that he really, I would even like to know if she was the one that actually left, because he was like, yeah, I just decided that she wasn't for me. And I'm like, child, y'all could have been friends for 7 years, and you was like, you think you want to marry me? And then she like that I wouldn't be surprised, because I'm like, 7 years of dealing with that. I don't know. I mean, I know some women are fine with it. Like some women do like aggressive men that, they're like, I don't really I think I feel protected, like, so they don't really.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on in what arena they're aggressive. Like, don't be aggressive with me.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, some women, they're attracted to it, because I mean, some women either equally can be as aggressive with the man, and then you just got that type of relationship. Like going back to what Miss Butler, someone said, me and my husband tore that mattress up upside down. I said, oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, so I yeah, there's definitely, when he was on the bottom and they were like, oh yeah, you're not opening up, there's a big huge possibility why of him not really showing his real self, and him not wanting to be triggered to the point where he was triggered with Sharice and whoever else the last episode, I meant the next episode. But
right.
There, let's talk about what was the other? It was interesting. Oh, talk about Mike and Kayla. They had and Jackie had asked them a question about age.
Right. So Kayla made it clear that Mike is in the age group of men that she's usually into. But Mike said no. Kayla's not in the age group that he's usually interested in. I'm assuming that Kayla's too young for him. Because she was like, so how y'all feeling about the age difference here? And she was like, oh no, this is what I like. Like Kayla was like, yeah, and Mike was like, not me.
I'm
like,
tolerated. I was like, ooh, not tolerated. That y'all, these men. I said, Chad, okay.
I mean, and why even try to I guess try to connect, because maybe, you may figure that you may end up liking someone that's not in your normal age group. But the way he said it is like, I'm not even really giving this the time of day, because if not, he would have just kept it to himself.
Right. But you know what I think it is when he's talking about tolerating it, it's probably tolerating it for the moment because he just wants to make sure he don't go home. Because he's trying to stay. Because remember, he was on the chopping block last week. Then Brandy was like, yeah, boo, you're not going to go nowhere. I'm here. And then now, he was trying to do all his good writtens, sat down with Sharice and was like, I think we need to have a conversation, whatever. So I just really think that he's trying to because he said, oh, the Kayla, me getting to know Kayla, it's intriguing. I'm like, intriguing?
Yeah.
What does this mean, Mike? Intriguing how? Intriguing for your benefit of staying on the show for like whatever. Like just simply say it's intriguing, but y'all know who my number one is. Like, I would
even know you Brandy's fan at this point.
Exactly. Like, I would rather I have a better respect for you if you're like, I do want to keep things open and try to connect with other women. But my main is my main, and that's where I really want to be. But I can't do that to the women because there's no way that I stay until the end. If like I just would have rather him just to just say it like that than be all like, yeah, she's intriguing. I'm like, hold on. You just be digging.
One thing I must say, it must have been a sale on that white dress with the slits in the side, because it seemed like everybody had that same little dress on.
Somebody designed it.
Was it Trunica had it on, Brandy had it on? Somebody, I felt like Katie might have had it on. I don't know, but I know I was like, oh, must have been a sale on that dress. Shop at the same Miami boutiques because they all walked up in there with the same outfit on.
Is Nene Leak's boutique still in Miami? Well, she had to shut that one down.
Because I know she shut down the one in DC. So, at the harbor. So probably, I don't know. I don't know if she still has it.
Yeah, I think she did. I think she had to shut down. I think she shut down all of them actually, besides the one in Atlanta.
I don't know, but I know I went in there and there was a white T-shirt in there for $100, and I was like, okay.
She trying to Kanye her way to the top.
Yeah.
No, actually, she's just trying to pay that rent.
Because that high National Harbor.
Child, there's been so many daggone restaurants that have come in and out because the rent is so high. And I'm talking about like huge 5-star chefs restaurants, and they're like, we just can't handle it.
I think his name is Samuelson.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was decent. I mean, his stuff was decent, but yeah. But anyway, but yes. So that was Mike and Kayla. And then you had Shakira that was talking to LJ, and pretty much she was like, yeah, you didn't call me back. And he was like, well, he was like, no, I did. And she was like, no, you didn't. And I don't play that and whatever. Like, she kind of got a little, I don't know, like, because we saw that they were like the first connection, and then she started melting for Samson. So I thought, no, seriously, I thought that like she actually just wasn't connected with LJ anymore. I just was like, okay, this happened, whatever, that's fine, but she just was like, you never called me back, so, but I don't play that. So, and I was like, girl, hold on now.
Want to be chased. Yeah,
I was like, it was a little disturbing. And then when she went into when they were saying who's in the bottom, and when she was like, yeah, LJ for me, like, I'm just over it, I don't want. And I'm like, this man didn't do anything to you. If we're talking about this man literally simply not calling you, or there was some form of miscommunication, and then you just didn't feel like he followed up after the missed call, like, you can't do that to somebody. Like, again, I think that a lot of these women and men, they forget that they are here and you are supposed to make more than one connection, again, to stay on the show, to stay all the way through. So, like, he can't just go.
LJ definitely is making his connections because every woman up there was like, yeah, LJ calls and checks on me constantly. He always checks to see if I'm doing okay. He always calls and tells me and sees how my day was. He asks me about what's going on with me. I'm like, LJ call everybody.
Yeah.
LJ be calling and checking on the ladies, okay?
And honestly, like that's just kind of how like island boys are. Like, I mean, I've never been romantically with an island boy, but I have had I've had several island guy friends, but like a really 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 close friend. But like that's how they are. Like they're very very they're just very intimate in even their friendships. Like my friend like took care of me. Like he just took care of me. Like, and again, we weren't ever like romantically involved or anything like that, but like he was just like anything that I needed. Like if I was just like I don't feel like cooking dinner, he'd be like, come over, I'll cook dinner for you.
You know, I have another friend who has a island friend who is that way. He and they're not romantically involved at all. Actually, I think he may be homosexual, but he really like
is, so that's
he really he really takes care of her. Like he'll be like he comes over, cooks dinner. He's good.
Yeah, like that's just always been like my experience. So I mean, you know, so yeah, like I said, I don't think that she should have based that off of that, but
I don't have any island friends that I can think of. I don't think I know any island guys that I can think like I can speak from experience.
Mm-hmm. And then you know, like I grew up
Cisse?
next to who?
Cisse?
Cisse was from Sierra Leone.
So I don't know anybody from the islands.
Did we go? We might have. I mean, you male wise, probably not. But you know, you remember Leela? She was Trinidadian.
Oh yeah, I do remember Leela.
I saw her a couple years ago too, H Street festival. She had like
I never remember Leela being the friendliest.
yeah, she had like 4 teenage daughters and
They're her twins.
Oh, okay.
They look just like her. No, I'm saying they are her twins. Like her kids. I have seen pictures of her daughters. They look just like her.
Mm-hmm. And then she has like an adult child too. I was like, and she was like, "You haven't started yet." I said, "Girl, oh my god!" I was like, "No."
Poor Miles. Yeah. He don't have nobody to play
with. Child, please, good boy. But yeah. So anyway, we digress.
He can be playing with my grandkids.
Right.
Miles gonna be playing with my grandkids.
But yeah, so that and then so yeah, I don't know. That's probably been one of the first like shaky moments from Shakira. It's like Shakira. For Shakira, where I was kind of like, I'm looking at you a little sideways. Like, this man ain't do nothing to you. Like, out of all the men that have done something to you, this
LJ did. Yeah, LJ is probably him and Samson are probably about the nicest men on the show. So right. I mean, not saying that Randall's not nice, but
yeah,
you know, that's just their demeanor.
Yeah.
But also, so Shakira then went over and talked to, I think Mike and Katie, and it seems like someone else was at the table. We're having a conversation. Was it Looney?
I'm not sure who it was, but somebody was there.
Oh, maybe Trunica. I don't know. But anyway, apparently at some point during the conversation, I don't even know how they got there. How did they get to the point where they were saying?
Yeah, I forgot.
What was Katie and saying to? I don't know. I don't know what the exchange between Katie and Mike was for Katie and to still don't.
I think that it was them holding Mike accountable about how he dealt with women or saying, you know, like they were going kind of talking about
with Sharice and everything in April.
Yes,
and all.
Yeah. And he was like, well, she shouldn't take it that way because this is how I explained it, or she should. And they're like, and then that's when Katie was just like, well, no, you can't say that to her because, you know, she's got a lot of trauma. So her story is going to be different.
Right. Okay.
And then Shakira was like, and on that note,
I'm going to leave.
I'm going to go leave. And it was like, no, stay. What's going on? And she was like, I have to excuse myself. I said, what's going on? And I
And
was
Katie was like, no, well, I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to explain to him. And Shakira was already leaving. And I can't remember who the third person was, but they was like, so you still going to leave? And she was like, yeah.
yes. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just, and again, I guess, so she was obviously, it wasn't the conversation. Well, because this is the thing. She said that she didn't want to engage in a conversation. So she was just sitting there. So that she was already in her head, like, I'm checked out. I want to get up and I want to leave, which I'm like, you don't have to engage in the conversation. You could sit there. But I guess if it was triggering for her, she was like, it's just best that I leave. So that's fine. And then when she did, get up and was like, and then she was just like, I can't believe. And I was like, what's going on? And then when she like was breaking down, it was just like, I didn't tell my story. This was my story to tell. And now everybody, and I was like, okay, I'm confused. Like, I was so confused. And I was like, well, who told a story? Again,
maybe it was, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I was like, unless it was like edited or something like that. Like, I'm like, I didn't understand what story she was speaking of. So they're definitely, if they did edit it out and Kagan did share more, then, well, you can't speak on to her as far as that because of how what trauma or the traumas that she's dealt with. If they did edit that out, maybe it was per her request. I don't know, but I would say that they actually made her look like more crazy than
It makes her, she's starting to come off, because of how the editing is, if it is the editing, she's starting to come off like a crybaby almost. Like,
yes. And like Tony actually was like, I don't think that she should have did this show, because he said it doesn't, every time they cut to her, she's like breaking down crying, and it just seems like she's not really ready, like she's not really dealt with fully what has happened to her in the past. And I was just like, maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. I can't, I'm not necessarily like a crazy fan of Kadian, but I can't say that her simply saying, I thought she was having her back when she said, well, no, you can't compare how you're speaking to me or to this person, whatever when it comes to her, because her story is a little bit different, how she's dealt with trauma, she's dealt with trauma and whatever. So, her story I just felt like I felt like it was more of her having her back than actually being against her.
Right. It was, well, how it was portrayed on the show. Yeah. Based on how it was portrayed on the show, that's how it was. Kadian, she was having her back. Like, she was, and she didn't get specific. Like, she didn't say, well, because Shakira becomes from an abusive relationship and she's not used, she had that trauma. She just said she used, plain words, like she used trauma. Like, she didn't get specific or anything. So
the same words that Shakira uses in her confessional, her confessional time, when she be like, somebody like me that's dealt with trauma, or the many traumas that I have really gone through, like, it was the same language. So I really didn't, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, I guess as someone who, I've never been in a physical abusive relationship, because the one time that the dude did try to like put his hands on me, like, I pretty much threatened to kill him. So that, like, whatever, but verbally, like, he was really like off the chain to me, and I just was like, yeah, dude, like, we it's not gonna work. I didn't stay long. So as somebody that has like had that experience of somebody pretty much like verbally, I just feel like I wouldn't feel a certain way if you and I were sitting in a conversation and a man was saying something and I felt triggered, and you were like, well, I know of her past with certain things, and when it comes, like, I don't think that I would be like, I gotta go again, unless of course I was like triggered, unless Mike said something in a conversation that like her ex-husband said to her or whatever, and it just triggered her and she was like, okay, I gotta go. But the way, again, they edited it looked like she just literally left because she felt like Kadian told her story, and she didn't have that. She was like, I lost my power and I didn't have. I was like, no, you could have been like, and my thing is that if you felt that way, I would have been like, I'm sorry to like what you call this conversation, Katie. Can I actually speak to you for a second? Or I need 5 minutes, and then Katie, and is it possible that I can speak to you? Like I just would have, because the thing is that then we could have had a conversation to say, from here on out, is it possible that we can refrain from using this when I'm in the conversation or when I'm in the presence? You know, it's just she just has to, and this could be her lack of confidence from being in a verbally, possibly mentally, emotionally, and physical abusive marriage. It could be that her loss of confidence, and she doesn't like strife or doesn't like any sort of combativeness. So her
because how she told on her, it's like she told on her as opposed to them being two adults, and she's just saying, you know, Katie and I really felt like instead of her having a conversation with Katie and for her to go have a conversation with nephew Tommy, it was like, is she trying to get rid of Katie or what did she want him to fight her battle for her? Like, I'm just not understanding what the purpose of telling Tommy about it was. Like, even if she would have had the conversation with Katie and then maybe afterwards tell Tom, you know, me and Katie had a situation where blah blah blah, but we worked it out, or we had a conversation. But for her to go to, like I said, it was like she was telling on her, and I was like,
right. Like, I can understand possibly if she may have, because I don't know, I guess I don't think Tommy's wife was still there. Like, if she was like to grab another woman and being like, you know, right now I feel a little triggered, or having this, like, I don't know, like it, yeah. But I guess to go to a man about a woman, I don't know, it's weird. It is weird.
About trauma that you got from a man. Like, it's just, yeah,
it's a little off, but I don't know. Anyway,
as we can see, this storyline is going to go into other episodes because it looks like her and Katie are going to.
Yeah, they're yeah.
Like, girl, don't get all upset and lose your flower crying about this, because this is not her crying and all that. She gotta.
Yeah, I'll say that some people who have dealt with, again, I don't know the help. I'm not going to speak on her story and her healing, but I will say that when you don't get the proper help, and continue, because I think that if you go through, even if you just go through mental abuse, like, because mental abuse can be like real whatever too, because it becomes like you're always in your head, and then you always hear the voice of or whatever. So you have to really, I think that when you deal with that type of abuse, it has to be something that you're continuously unwiring from your brain to, you know, from your psyche to your emotional state, your physical state. Like, it has to, you gotta continue to do a lot of work. It's not just something that just, you know, oh yeah, well, I did a little bit of counseling here and there or whatever, you know. So I can't speak to the healing and where she is and how she's doing that, but just from what I am seeing is that the very reserved, not reserved, that's not the word I'm looking for, but the very, like, I guess, modest tone in the and like kind of how she's coming off is more of, it seems to be more safe and more of the victim of Shakira than probably who the real Shakira is.
I get it. She's very demure, like very like toned down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my pitch to be too high to irritate. Like, maybe that was a thing with her and her husband. She doesn't want, like, she's very reserved. You said reserved, right?
Yeah, that wasn't, it's not.
But it's not reserved. It's very, it's almost coming off like shy, but it's not even shy. It's like, I don't know.
It's just like I don't know if we're getting the authentic Shakira. If it comes to that, like, if it's again victim Shakira of this is from my past, so therefore I try to stay in the safe zone. That's like it's like the safe zone of like my personality, whatever. I don't want to be too much of this. I don't want to be too much of that. Like I want to be in this safe zone so that I don't know if she's doing safe zone in the sense of because of the trauma or she's doing safe zone because she does really want a man to be in her life.
But if she is doing safe zone because she really wants a man, she's not ready.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, that there she has to still, because you want somebody to love all of you and who you are, the good, the bad, the ugly, and different. Like, and if somebody can't or is always if you're coming from your past of like this person reminded me of my flaws, this person reminded me of whatever, and even though I like this about myself, this whatever. So yeah, so she definitely is coming off to have more of a diminished like persona. Like I don't know if we're really getting the real her at this point.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so yeah, that was that all happened in episode 4. Episode 5. Oh, we forgot to tell Cosmic Love over here.
Justice
over here was talking to Jamala and had a nerve to leave Jamala. And when they was like, oh yeah, so you know how things are doing, she was like, yeah, well, Justin just wanted me to let you know. Yeah, he needed to go. He what you mean? He needed to go. He's like, yeah, he left my party. And I was like, child, I wouldn't even have told Tommy. Truth be told, I wouldn't even have when they had asked and when they said, well, who's the low, or not who's the low, but who's on the chopping block or whatever. And then when he said, and Justin, we need Justin, I would have been like, and anybody know what Justin is? Oh, you know
Justice.
What? Justice. I'm sorry. I keep calling this man Justin. Jawan. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you why I call him Justice. It's because his real name is Jawan. And I'm looking at the J in the end. And then I'm thinking about his name and what he's using on the show, Justice. And I'm putting the two together. And my brain is going, Justin. Jawanstis. Whatever. Jawan nice.
Cosmic Love, Justice.
Yeah, brother Love. He is the brother Love right there. What did he be calling his little different names? That is Justice. That personality stuff. That's him. Talking about some Cosmic Love, and I'm into the distant whatever. All this stuff. This man is for birds. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you this. I truly believe that Justin walked in the park. Not Justin. Cosmic Love walked.
At this point, I think our cousins know. Justin is Justice.
Cosmic Love walked into the first episode in the mixer. He didn't see what he liked. He didn't really get to where he really wanted to get to on the mental level of whatever that is. And I personally think that he's just checked out. And I think that he's going to do whatever he needs to do to be like, oh, I'm out. Because my thing is that why didn't the producers know and Tommy know that you had a business? Like he said, he had a grand opening.
Right.
Like, why didn't anybody know that, Justice? I'm just saying to myself, I got to handle some responsibilities. No, that sounds like a child. Like a grand opening is like, hey man, like just let you guys know I got a grand opening. I'm really proud about it. I'm happy about it. It's our third.
Right. He didn't even tell anybody. It was given like, my girl just called and said she went into labor and I gotta go.
Yeah, responsibility. That's what I said. I was like, it sounded like a child. I had to take care of responsibilities. I was like, what? I'm like, this don't sound right. Because then my thing is, if I was Tommy, I would have been like, okay, bro, where's you got photos? I mean, grand opening. I know you got something that show us.
Why you ain't invite us? Like, why you ain't tell us? We would have had the white party on a different day. Maybe we would have came to your opening. Like, that's an opportunity for advertisement for your business. Like, a lot of things.
It ain't adding up. It's not adding up. I'm telling you, this man, he walked in the mixer, didn't see what he liked physically, didn't really get on the level, even though he's gone from this person saying it was Trunica. April was talking too much about herself, even though that's him all the way. I'm like, you're the one that's talking a lot about yourself, but whatever. And then everybody else has just been like whatever. So he's like, okay, can't get with Trunica because whatever of her awkwardness, and then whatever. It's just he don't want to.
He's not even into it. Yeah, he don't.
No,
He don't. He's not even in his. I always call him confessionals, but like his one-on-ones or whatever. He's just like, that's how he talking. Like, yeah, I don't know, and this, and he's talking like this, and that's like, do you even want to be there?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to be there. So that's just my thing. I'm just like, dude, just self-eliminate. Like so many people have self-eliminated. They've been like, listen, I tried. I don't really feel like there's been really a connection. So I'm gonna self-eliminate. They've done it. Like you ain't gonna be the first and you ain't gonna be the last.
Calvin did it, didn't he? His name Calvin.
You talking about from the first episode? Well, he did because of a so-called family emergency. So I guess we'll see on the reunion what that so-called emergency was with his mother. But yeah. So anyway, Justice, goodbye. You need to go home, like for real. And then like the next episode where he is when Tommy was like, yeah, tell them because I need to sit down with all three of them, Justice, LJ, and Zoe. He was like, yeah, the lady's just not feeling y'all. And then if I'm not mistaken, then Justice says, I'm surprised. I said,
but the thing about it is he was like, yeah, I really want to sit down with Tommy because he's the GOAT and he's really interested, like he really wants a relationship like Justice. But then at the same time, the ladies be like, they calling you and you like, I don't like to talk on the phone or whatever. I don't like to date. I don't like to talk on the phone. I don't like to spend money. I don't like you have too many, like, how do you, I'm not following anymore. Like, so how do you want to get to know people?
Yeah, and again, it could be that he also might be in a relationship or in between ship or situationship himself, and he like, listen, girl, this is only for people to know me to get to whatever, so that my business can boom. I ain't gonna be over here making no connections, and you gonna see. That could be the other theory.
It can't even be so his business can boom because you had your opportunity to advertise your business front and center.
Well, people find people online, so people have been probably looking for him to be like, let me see what this dude is about. And then, we'll talk about finding something online too with somebody else soon. But so Justice needs to just go on. That's what he needs to do, and just leave the process because it's just like it's too much. Yeah, and I'm over him. As far as we had obviously there was a big issue that happened because LJ, Justice, and Zoe ended up going to the go-kart with Sharice, Trunica, and Kadian.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoe
was first of all very competitive on the racetrack.
Yeah, so I'm going to say came out hot-headed and hurt Trunica because he ran into her.
Because he was bumping, I say, are they on bumper cars or go-karts? Like, what is this?
That's what Tony was like, yeah, he shouldn't have bumped her too hard. I said, but it's go-karts. I said, the bumper part of a go-kart is just there for safety. I said, but go-karts is you going around the actual thing. It's not bumper cars. This not King's Dominion Disney World where they have the little things and you're like, boom.
Usually at those places, when you be bumping people, they put you off the track. They be like, go in.
Yes. So
just did a favor because they was filming a show and was just like, we'll just let it be. But it was like,
yeah,
calm down.
So yeah, he hurt them. I don't even think that I heard him even apologize to be like, hey ladies, my apologies. I know it was a little bit whatever. He just came out like, yeah, that's what's up. That's me. That's all me. And and then that's when Sharice went on over to Katie and said, barbecue him, because she just was like, you need to be humbled. Like, I feel like she's like, dude, like, really? This is unattractive. So yeah. So that he was already whatever. And then obviously we had to sit down with Katie and Injustice. What's your thoughts on Katie and Justice conversation with Trunica.
So first of all, Katie and they just not clicking, number one. And number two, I don't understand what that meant when Katie and DM'd him at 12:30 a.m. or whatever. It was like, are you free in the next 20 minutes? Like, I didn't understand that. But at the same time, you say, Justice, that you called her back. She didn't answer. Then she said she called you back 2 days later or something like that. But then he's like, he seems, on one hand, he's like, I don't like to talk on the phone. On the other hand, he's like, you never called back. We never would. Just tell Katie, I'm not into you. That's what it's given, because this is not the first time he has brought up that whole situation. Because remember, he said a little sly remark before about her DMing him in the wee hours of the morning or whatever. And if it was somebody he was really interested in, if they DM'd him in the wee hours of the morning, he would have been all for it. So just tell Katie, I'm not into you. Katie is, I already know she could be seen as aggressive by the men. And so I know that's rubbing Justice all the way wrong, because Justice, the women that he's been into are the very like quiet, you know, like Shakira, Trunica, like they're really like not I'm trying to obey you type of attitude, but they're very like we were just saying, like reserved. Katie is too much for him. And she calls him out on his mess. Right. So Katie, he don't like that.
Katie was too much for me with that baby blue head wrap that she had on her babe. She being a wrap bonnet babe, and that wrinkle cut off shirt. I was like, what is going on, girl? They said, hey Katie, we need you down here in about 15 minutes. She's like, okay, don't come in. Like, ain't nobody had no steamer on set to help this chick out. I was like, oh my gosh. Because she ain't had no makeup on, no. I'm telling you, they called Katie.
Yeah, she did.
They said, we need you down here in 15 minutes. And she flew out that daggone. She flew out that door. Because she said, they was like, you're going to be filming with Justice. She said, oh, I'm on my way.
It was very much an off day for her, because for a minute, I kept not even recognizing her. I kept saying, like, who is this lady? Like, who is this?
Yeah.
But she tends to look different to me.
She does.
Episode.
She does. It depends. Like, she'll have like a lot of makeup on, she looks different. She has a modest amount of makeup on, she looks different. She has no makeup on, she looks different. It's like, girl, you got you.
But Justice, he plays too much. He got too many. He's a child, and I can tell in the conversation that she was like, she would just say certain things, and he would be like, see, now you're changing the subject. Now you're bringing other people into it. Now you're talking like that. Now you're yelling. Like what? What are you even talking about? She was like, I'm just using this as a segue into, and he's like, so why are you saying that? And I was like, he just, like I said, just keep it real with the girl and just say, it's just that I'm not really interested in you, Katie. But at this point, Justice, the next chopping block that they have for the men, you're going to be on it. Because really, you should have went home anyway. I can't say who the other one's going to be. Might be Mike. But I'm going to say right now, you, Justice. Yeah. Justin, Justice, Jawan, whatever his name is, he got to go.
It's just, yeah, no, he does. And then I didn't, somebody said it, I was reading some comments, and it was like, Trinica's kind of coming off to be, have pick-me vibes, because
she does.
Because she, when every time it was in a sense time to hold him accountable for his actions, she was like, well, Justice, I don't see you as this, and I don't see you as this.
Some of the ladies see you as this, not me. Like, she does. She's like, some of the ladies sees you as this, not me. I don't see it, but some of the ladies see it. I understand what they see, but I don't see. It's like, what, Trunica?
I was like, Trunica, you should have stayed, and then you should have just sat there like you were sitting. And said,
they want you to go home.
Even if Justice listened, because he probably asked, because he probably, even though, but he probably was like, well, Trunica, what's your thoughts about me? And she probably was like, well, and she just had to say something. But yeah, she
some of the ladies think you're not ready to love, not me. But it's like, what? Girl,
girl.
go call Randall.
And then obviously we start to hear in the background Zoe and Sharice.
Sharice was shocked and appalled.
Huh?
I said Sharice was shocked and appalled.
Yeah,
she didn't know what to do.
Fake as F, and she said, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, she just was like, wait a minute, I was not ready for this."
And because the thing is, she went in not wanting him to be in the bottom and wanting to find out from him, like, you know, wanting to like really tell him like, okay, you're in the bottom because of these reasons, and this is what I think she wanted to coach him like, this is what you got to do to stay in the game. Mm-hmm. So like, tell me what's on your mind, and then I can try to kind of give you some tips. And it just went left.
Yes, because even she was like, you know, well, when she was even asking, she said, you know, is there a connection there? Because like now that I look back at the previous episode when she asked that question, I said, well, I guess that's a valid question, because they sat down and they had the conversation about the ex-fiance. Then they were sitting down at the white party and was talking to Jackie at the white party. So I'm like, I guess it would be a conversation of like, you know, so am I a connection for you? What's going on? Because I do have a strong connection. As soon as she said, I have another strong connection, he said, I don't give, but I ain't here to talk about nobody. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, she was being honest and just simply saying like, listen, like, you know, is there something there? If there is, you know, okay, what's up? Like, you know, how do we, whatever. But it was funny because when she did say, when she said, I don't even want you. That's my point. She just revealed how fake she was. And I said, you know what, Justice. You know what I think she did? I think she knew she ain't like the fact that he was yelling at her and then whatever. You know what I think? And everybody was like, well, I mean, she kind of was being fake then, and it would be valid. No, I'm gonna tell you what Sharice did. Sharice said, that's how you want to do it? Well, I don't even want you. I think that she did it to ignite him. That's what I don't think that she did it based off of being like, I don't really want you. I think that she literally just was like, oh, that's what we doing? I don't even want you. If it's not that, then in her saying the way in which you're acting right now, then you I don't even want you. Like, and so that's the two ways that I took it. I didn't really take it as just because she had just said, you know, because I am interested in whatever, and then I'm to deepen this connection. So if there's something there where we go, like, I didn't look at it as she was like faking the phone call, being fake. I just think
I didn't look at it that way either, because I just think that it's a difference. It's like you being interested in seeing where things could go with someone is different from you necessarily wanting them. Like, we know that Brandy wants Mike,
right?
But we know that, you know, Kayla wants Randall, but Randall, on the other hand, I don't think he necessarily wants Kayla. He's just seeing where he's going. He's interested and he's building. That's what Sharice was doing. She was interested and she was building. So it's not like, oh, I want him. Like I said, it's not like a Brandy and Mike type energy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. She. But yeah, I know a lot of people.
It's like, I don't want you. Like, it was like, I mean, yes, I was interested. I wanted to see where this was going to go, but it don't flatter yourself. That's what I got out of it. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's you know, like when you go on a first date with a dude, and it's like, okay, he was cool. It's interesting. Maybe I can go on a second date with him, and then you catch him on the phone outside on the phone to his friend saying, oh yeah, she want me. And it's like, dude, what?
Right.
I want you. Like, are you kidding?
Where'd you gather that info from?
Right. It's like, I mean, we were getting to know each other. I thought you was a cool person and I wanted to see where this go, but wanting you, like, that's a strong word.
Yeah, no, yeah, so, you know, and I know there's a lot of people that don't like Sharice. It's so funny because every time every time I talk to somebody about Sharice, like even Ernie said it, and my mother-in-law, she was like, I don't like her because she was really mean in the beginning. And I was like, they say she disrespected somebody in the beginning. And I said, you know what? I was like, I'm not gonna hold Sharice to that. I remember, yes, they're talking about, wasn't it the Dominica when she was like, ooh, so she said something about yes. But this is the thing though. I was like, y'all can have a problem with Sharice and when she was doing whatever her little catty behavior was. But one thing we can't say is that when Dominica, let's go back, let's roll the tape. She said, what is it? And all the men just put their head down like,
oh.
Ain't nobody said nothing to you, but she was the only one. So the same woman that got spicy behind your back was the same woman that came to you in your face and said, girl, I tell you what it is. Girl, you almost busting my eardrums. And whatever. So I guess people can have a problem with her, but I just don't I don't have a problem with Sharice like that. I just I don't think that this is the show for her, because I do think that she's looking for a caliber of a man that is nowhere near here. I think that she probably came onto the show because it's normally always successful Black men that are a part of the show. But unfortunately, there's always some successful Black men that are just losers. And they just continue to be losers. And so I don't think, especially with her wanting to, she's saying that she wants to be married, no kids or whatever. I think I'll say this. I think that if Sharice met somebody in her age bracket that probably had more like older adult kids, and we're talking about like probably kids that was like 15, 14 and upward, I don't think she would really have a problem, because and as long as she understands the relationship, like, oh yeah, my wife and I were cool, we co-parent really well, we I don't got to worry about, I'm not on no child support, all that stuff. Like I think that she would be okay. But I don't shoot a woman's dreams down. If you feel like, I do know people who have, gotten married at her age and even older, and the person hasn't had any children or whatever. And, it can happen. It's just, how long are you willing to wait for that to happen?
I was going to say, it's just the percentage.
I don't know. I didn't gather that she necessarily wants kids. I think that she wants marriage. And if a kid happened, I think she's okay with it. But I don't think that that's like her thing, though. I think that she's like, I'm okay if I don't have children, but do I want a relationship? Do I want marriage? I do. And I prefer not to have that baggage, because she's probably like, in her head, she probably like, I'm good. We ain't got no kids. We can travel the world. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like her caliber of man is like way up here. And I think that she saw the opportunity of, okay, I'm a professional. I'm a Black successful woman. I got my Black successful man on my side, and we can change the world. We can travel the world. We can do whatever we want to do. I think that's where she came in with. And I don't think that she thought that it was going to be like successful, like clowns that she was going to encounter.
I think at this point is no one there for her to connect with. Like,
besides Samson, like Samson seems to still really like kind of like intrigued by her.
Yeah, after their conversation. But and I don't really think Samson is the one for her either. So I really think that she won't make a connection.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, probably, if it's not this week, her going home, because the girls are on the chopping block this week.
Yeah, and I actually think this week the chopping block will be Katie and Looney.
Really?
My prediction, yeah. I don't think Looney's really connecting with anybody.
She loves LJ.
Loves LJ, but I don't think they're connecting. And the reason why is because Looney might be a little bit too hood for LJ. I definitely know she plays to Samson. But yeah, I think that's my prediction. I think the chopping block will be Katie and Looney. Who will go home between those two, I'm not sure, but that's what I'm thinking. And Katie, because like I said, I think the men might think Katie is too aggressive. And Looney, I don't think she's really connecting with anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see, child.
And yeah. And I think the same too, when it comes down to the men, it'll be LJ and Justice again. Justice because he's a hot mess. And LJ, I think a lot of the women are kind of friend zoning LJ.
Got you.
So
yeah. Well, Trunica said that she wanted to take her panties off after hearing his little his strumming on the guitar. Yes. And she was like, "Take my panties off now." I said, "Ooh, Trunica,
come on, let's go."
The awkward freak over here. That's when she probably over there banging Cosmic Love. That's why she like, I don't see you this way. He didn't got her spelled her on up with his peen, and and she over here like, I'm just enthralled by him because woo, he gave me the cosmic peen, took me on to a whole other planet.
Breasts, he see her and he see them breasts coming. He just be like,
the breast and the Band-Aid on the neck.
He just be like, whatever, because that's what Justice is very visual. I could tell that too. He's a very visual.
Yeah, like I said, he stepped into that mix and didn't see a darn thing he wanted. He said, I'm out. I'm just
like, I'm just going
to, like they said, a minimum of 5 hours per week. Okay, I'll be there. 5 hours.
Yeah, her breasts a chance, but other than that,
we didn't see Swayze this past week, but
it seems like Swayze is making a connection with Katie, right?
Yeah. That's her only connection.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think she'll be in the chopping block, because her and Mike are like buddies, right? And Swayze is the only other guy she's connected with. She hasn't really connected with. And who's left? Samson and LJ and Justice, which definitely Justice ain't gonna vote for her. So yeah.
So talking about Mike. Well, child, I found out through my mother-in-law.
Yes,
she said, yeah, so because she looks at the show, and she said, yeah, so I was so surprised when I saw Mike on the show. And I said, oh, what you mean? And she was like, because I know Mike Hall. And I said, oh. And she was like, Mike was a stripper. I said, I was like, so Tony was like, wait, what? Oh, no, I don't need to hear it. He was like, wait a minute. Why? How you know? And she was like, yeah, Mike is stripper from Miami. He was like, how? We was like, oh, like, okay. And so we, Tony, that, because, you know, I'm all about, you know, I don't really like, I always will say allegedly, I don't really like whatever, because there won't be no legal nothing over on this side. Right. But I did some research and I did find his Instagram page, and he definitely there was so he has this where he posts pictures, I guess, after certain little what do you call it? Certain little things that he does. And child, there was one picture of him and he was like booked and he had no, wait a minute. I thought I took a picture. I'll have to maybe I'll put it at the end of the video, but I swear I took a picture of it yesterday, a screenshot of it. But he was like, you know, he didn't have no he had this little towel, and he was at a paint and sip party and he was like booked, and so the people was him. Whatever. Yes, and I was like, and so I told Tony, I said, well, maybe he's not a stripper. He's like, no, did you forget the other video that we saw? He was like, they definitely was throwing up dollars, single dollars. And I was like, and he was like, and it was in the dark, and yeah, it looked like it was definitely a stripper pole. I was like, wait a minute. So yeah, so Mike is over here booked and busy with his body, doing stripper sipping paint parties, and whatever else he's doing. So my question is for Brand. Girl, you want your baby daddy to be doing that? Because that's all you really worried about right now. You're not even worried about marriage. You're worried about that, trying to get that D in you so that D can beat that egg so you can have a baby. So I just want to know, Brandy, are you okay with your baby daddy just out here
Slanging it?
I'm just saying, I don't want that for you, Brandy. Like, I like you. Like, you seem to be a girl of substance, and I don't want that. I know how you put that grape in your mouth and stuff like that, but I don't want that for you. Like, I don't know. I want you to have a wholesome man that's gonna be able to be like, I'm here with the baby, not like I'm booked and busy with my body and I gotta go. So you and baby. That's why he don't want them. I'm telling you, like it makes sense. It's like, okay, if I'm booked and busy with my body, yeah, at nighttime is when I'm mainly gonna be booked and busy. So I ain't got no time to be over here like, you're gonna be by yourself with the baby because I can't got no time to be changing no diapers, burping no child. I'm telling you, that's why that man don't want no, because he out here living his best life with his booked and busy body spread wide for the Miami 305, whatever they are.
That's his entrepreneur. Because he says appliance repair and entrepreneur. So entrepreneur must be stripper.
Yeah. So I was like, well, so yes, y'all. I ain't seen nobody else on the reality vlogosphere sphere talk about this. So y'all getting it here first. But yeah, if you go to his Instagram page, which is not my fault, it's like something else. I would have to get it, but it's not you're not gonna find him under there. It's like some other name. And yeah, he been out here for some years. Which then again makes me think, because how long has he been divorced? He says for 2 years or
2 years, yeah.
So again, was there an affair with a stripper
client?
with a client? I mean, now let me tell you, okay? Don't judge this over here. When I so I have a client that I used to work for. We used to have to go to like clubs and lounges, and a part of that was also strip clubs and what was it, like male, like so they had the strip clubs, whatever, but the other ones was like, was it classics? What was the male
I don't know, because usually they just have like, it'll be like a regular club, but like a specific night will be dedicated to like the men's strippers.
Yeah, no, this was straight up all the men. It was the male only, like whatever. So I think it was called Classics. Anyway, so Classics was the main thing. And I used to, of course, like, the girls was there, they was going crazy and whatever. Not one time, I'm telling y'all, not one time I ever met a wife. It's always been girlfriends. Always been girlfriends. Never have I met a wife. So all I'm saying is, this is why I keep telling Brandy, girl, ask these important questions, because I haven't heard you ask. Y'all feeding each other grapes and Grey Poupon.
And that's that whole grape thing that he did, that's like a stripper move. And the reason why I say that is because them strippers, they always be having like, because it's always like a party or like somebody's bachelorette or some event going on, and then they be coming up to the women, feeding them and all that kind of, that's a part of the show.
Yeah. So that's
like hanging over their mouth and they be trying to get it and all that.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, she needs to ask Brandy, I need you to ask these important questions, boo. I need you to ask, like, why did you leave? Like, because the thing is, Katie asked Mike, and he was like, she said, so what happened and whatever. And And he just was like, you know, it just she was like just trying to stay for the kids. She should have let him answer. Like, don't even say just trying to stay for the kids. She should let him answer and listen to his answer and then whatever. So again, y'all might have a same thing with Sharice. Y'all can have an issue with these women, but these are the women that's really either asking the most important questions while many of the other women are just in their head so worried about the exterior or whatever. But they're the ones that's like, and y'all think that they're either rude or whatever. But I'm like, they asking the questions that all y'all who are interested in them need to hear. Like, yes, I do. The fact that Katie, who's not interested in Mike, was the only person that was like, tell me why you what happened with your marriage. Like, it makes it like Brandy. That's what I'm telling you. Like, as much as I like her, I just really feel that she's just going to be so brokenhearted when it comes down to her really finding out. Now, granted, I mean, if Katie found Justice online, you know that's why Katie found everybody online, honey, was like, yeah, let me slip into these DMs. Because she also probably slipped into his DMs too, because again,
he didn't give his number out.
Give the number out, but also she probably, if they're taping the show, she probably also didn't want to be in his timeline so that there was no connection of like, you know, whatever. But yeah, I can't wait.
But I was wondering about the whole, what are you doing in the next 20 minutes? Like, what does that mean? Like, can you call me? Because are you busy in the next 20 minutes so we can have a conversation on the phone? Like, what was that about? Like, what does that question mean? What are you doing in the next 20 minutes? I'm in your area? Like, what is that? I mean, she didn't say that, but is that what it's leading to? Or you want to come up? Like, Katie, you gonna have to explain that one to me.
Maybe she wanted some cosmic love.
That's what I was thinking. It was just like, that's a little weird. You DMing somebody at 12:30 something. What are you doing in the next 20 minutes? Like,
Cause the fact that even he was like, can I get a hug? And she was like, no. And then he even said, you know why she mean to me? Because she really loves me.
She liked me.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all probably had something going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe possibly Katie and knew Justice / Jawan from the past, because a lot of times that happens. Like, there was a Ready to Love 3 seasons ago, and Rashid and another girl was his ex-girlfriend, and she was like, whoa, wow, whatever. He tried to reconnect with her and everything, but he's engaged now to one of the other castmates that was on there, Simone.
But my whole thing, it was like, I didn't even understand. Like, first of all, that statement was so elementary. Like, that's like what your grandma tell you when a little boy in your class hits you. Like, he just hit you because he really like you. That's number one. And number two, I was like, are they playing some type of cat and mouse situation? Like, this is very it's like, it was almost like, wow, I felt like Justice is over it was like some type of sexual tension between them. It was weird. Yeah. I was like, what is going on? Yeah. He was like, come on, give me a hug. You don't want to give me no hug, but I want a hug. And she like, no. It's like, what's going on with them?
And Trunica just sitting there, just
Trunica sitting there like this. Can you see my arm?
Right, still like, I can't believe he bumped me into that wall.
I'm like, I'll be glad when she get that thing off her arm. It's messing up her outfits. She be coming through with her sexy dress on, and then here come this armband. It's like
because it's actually not a cast, and it's only a what-you-call-them. So I'm really actually surprised that she can't like take it off for shooting and just put it back.
Or switch colors or something, jazz it up some type of way. At this point, wear long sleeve and stop wearing them titties out, because it's just not vibing. Like I said, she be coming through all voluptuous and sexy, and then
she got the arm guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, child. So yeah, so we'll see what happens. What happens next? Because yeah, Zoe didn't show up to his exit.
Zoe,
I was like, You didn't have to do that to Brandy. Brandy ain't do nothing to you
at all. What's your problem? Like the streets saying you got a woman, you're in a relationship. So that's probably what your issue is. You like, baby, I'm just gonna go do this show and pretend, and I'm gonna
it's that 7
make my own exit.
That 7 year, what you call him, he probably is still attached to. That might be what it is. So
yeah.
I was like, dang, I just realized it's gonna be you, because ain't nobody don't want me. I don't want the real me. That's
my mess.
Yes, child. I know so many of them types. Yep, just go right on back to the horse that feeds you. So, but anyway, y'all.
Yeah, but let us know what y'all thoughts, and who do you think, it's the ladies' week, so who do you think, as far as the ladies are concerned, will be on the chopping block this week?
Yep.
Who's your favorite, the least favorite?
Yes, I will have to say, yeah, like I don't know if I have like a favorite anymore. Like Samson, male wise, is just still remaining my favorite. As far as women,
I
don't know. I'm not really like head over heels over nobody. Like I'm not like, yo, she's just a dope woman. She deserves, whatever. Like I said, I like Brandy. I think that Brandy's a nice young lady and whatnot. But I'm concerned for her. I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I really, as much as I see the connection about her and Mike, I just hope that it's just not a sexual connection energy that they're giving off and can't wait to bang each other, and then it's just nothing more. So because I just haven't seen really Mike give her any sort of substance. I haven't seen like them being out and being like, yeah, so this is what I would provide for you in this type of whatever relationship. What do you look for in a man when it comes to XYZ? I do know that she did have that like conversation briefly, like, whatever, but it was still surface, because she was like, I want a man that's like, respectful and, like all the things that of course like a woman, but like she didn't really like get into like, as his main concern was how long she was going to be daggone gone. Someone said, well, you a flight attendant, and she was like, no, just because I'm a flight attendant don't mean that. She was like,
Looney. Yeah. When he was talking to Looney, right?
No, Brandy is the flight attendant.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, Mike was really concerned about my schedule, and she's like, I don't have to travel every day on a plane. She's like, I can decide to have a schedule of 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was Looney saying that.
I don't know what Looney does, but she's not the flight attendant. So he was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, you trying to get your stripper schedule together. That's what that is. That's all he was thinking about. He was not thinking about that girl. He was like, let me just make sure I can just fit you in, so I don't got a book, so when you flying out, I'll book my stripper sipping paint parties, and then when you come back, it'll be all you and I. That's what it is. I hope that she will be able to handle it. I don't know if that's a kept man. I don't in that particular environment, I
don't think you'd be able to be a stripper and in a serious relationship.
A husband, because I mean he can be in a relationship.
I say serious, yeah, but we'll say husband.
Yeah, I'm specifically talking. I feel like what she wants. I don't know, and that's why I said I hope that she asks the question herself. Please tell me about what happened, what went wrong, and then also have a daggone conversation with that ex-wife so she can get the story too and be like, I want to know. So
she needs to stop being like head over heels for him and get serious.
Absolutely.
That's true.
It's just too head over heels. It's been too head over heels from the very beginning, and I'm like, girl, it's literally only a physical attraction right now. There's absolutely nothing that he's shown you to me besides like y'all just physically being attracted to each other.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Anyway, y'all listen to us in the comment section. We about to get out of here. We will see y'all. Another episode is coming up on this Friday, so that is tomorrow. So we will see y'all back soon. Peace out.